Hey everyone, Richard Bass here from Thriving with Richard Bass. Today we're talking about something every single parent has experienced, but most of us feel terrible about. What do you do when you lose your cool and yell at your child? As a special education teacher for over a decade and author of several parenting books, I want to start with this truth. Perfect parents don't exist. I've never met one, and I certainly am not one. Every parent I've worked with, including myself, has moments where we react instead of respond, where our own big emotions take over. The question isn't whether you'll ever lose your cool with your children. The question is what you do afterward. In the next 10 minutes, I'll walk you through exactly how to repair your relationship after yelling, why these repairs are actually powerful teaching moments, and how to reduce the likelihood of it happening again. Let's dive in. First, let's talk about what happens when we yell at our children. When we raise our voices in anger, several things occur simultaneously. Our child's nervous system activates their stress response. They might fight back, shut down, or become hypervigilant. The trust between us gets temporarily damaged, and often the original issue that triggered our reaction gets completely lost. But here's what many parents don't realize. How we handle ourselves after losing our cool can actually strengthen our relationship with our children if we do it right. Children don't need perfect parents. They need parents who can take responsibility, make repairs, and model how to handle mistakes. Let me share a story from my classroom that really opened my eyes to this. I had a student, let's call him David, who was having a particularly challenging day. He'd forgotten his homework again, was disrupting other students, and when I asked him to focus on his math worksheet, he crumpled it up and threw it on the floor. I was already stressed from dealing with several other classroom challenges that morning, and I lost my cool. I raised my voice and said, "David, you're being completely disrespectful. This behavior is unacceptable and you need to figure out how to get it together." The moment the words left my mouth, I saw his face change. He looked hurt, scared, and small. My yelling didn't help him focus or teach him better coping skills. It just made him feel bad about himself and damaged our relationship right when he needed my support most. That moment taught me something crucial. My stress and overwhelm were my responsibility to manage, not his to absorb. So what do you do when this happens? Here's the step-by-step process I teach families, and it works whether your child is 3 or 13. Step 1. Pause and regulate yourself first. Before you can repair anything, you need to get your own nervous system back online. Take some deep breaths, step away for a moment if needed, and remind yourself that this mistake doesn't define you as a parent. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't model regulation while you're still dysregulated. Step 2. Take full responsibility without excuses. This is crucial. Approach your child when you're both calm and say something like, "I need to apologize to you. I yelled and that wasn't okay. You didn't deserve that." Notice there's no but in that statement. No, but you were being difficult. Or, but I was stressed. Those aren't apologies. They're blame shifting. I see parents struggle with this because they worry that taking full responsibility will teach their child that their behavior was acceptable. But here's the thing. You can take responsibility for your reaction while still addressing their behavior later when you're both regulated. Step 3. Acknowledge the impact on your child. Say something like, "I imagine that felt scary when I raised my voice," or "You looked really hurt when I yelled and I'm sorry I caused that." This helps your child feel seen and validates their emotional experience. Step 4. Make a specific plan for doing better next time. Don't just say, "I'll try not to yell." Be specific. "Next time I feel that overwhelmed, I'm going to take 3 deep breaths first." Or, "When I notice I'm getting frustrated, I'm going to use my calm voice to tell you I need a minute." Step 5. Follow through on your plan. Your child will be watching to see if you meant what you said. When they see you actually implementing your strategies, it builds trust and shows them that people can change their behavior. Let me give you a real example of what this looks like. I was working with a mom, Sarah, who had yelled at her 6-year-old son during a bedtime battle. Here's how she repaired it. "Marcus, I need to talk to you about last night. I yelled at you when you didn't want to brush your teeth, and that wasn't okay. You didn't deserve to be yelled at. I imagine that felt scary, and maybe made you feel bad about yourself. I was feeling frustrated, but that's my feeling to handle, not yours. Next time I feel that frustrated, I'm going to take some deep breaths before I talk to you. You're a good kid, and I love you no matter what. Marcus looked at his mom and said, I was scared when you yelled. Sarah replied, That makes sense. It's not okay for me to scare you with my voice. Thank you for telling me how you felt. This repair did several important things. It restored safety and connection between them. It modeled accountability and emotional intelligence. It showed Marcus that mistakes can be acknowledged and repaired, and it actually made their relationship stronger than it was before the incident. Now, what if your child doesn't seem receptive to your apology? This happens sometimes, especially with older children, or if there's been a pattern of yelling. Don't take it personally, and don't pressure them to forgive you immediately. Just say something like, I understand you might need some time to feel better about this. My apology stands whether you're ready to hear it today or not. Here's something really important. The repair isn't about making yourself feel better or getting your child to say, it's okay. It's about taking responsibility, modeling accountability, and restoring safety in the relationship. Let me address some common concerns parents have about apologizing to their children. Won't this undermine my authority? Actually, the opposite is true. Children respect parents more when they see them take responsibility for mistakes. It shows strength, not weakness. What if they think they can treat me badly because I apologized? Taking responsibility for your behavior doesn't excuse theirs. You can still address their behavior separately when you're both calm. I don't want to confuse them about who's in charge. Being in charge doesn't mean being perfect. It means being responsible for creating safety and connection in the relationship. What if I apologize and then yell again? Then you apologize again. Change takes time, and your child benefits from seeing you work on yourself, even if progress isn't linear. Now let's talk about prevention strategies to reduce the likelihood of losing your cool in the future. First, identify your triggers. What situations, times of day, or behaviors tend to push you over the edge? Common triggers include running late, feeling overwhelmed, being tired or hungry, or dealing with repetitive behaviors. Second, recognize your early warning signs. What happens in your body before you explode? Maybe your jaw tightens, your voice gets sharper, or you start talking faster. These are signals to implement regulation strategies before you reach your breaking point. Third, have a plan for when you feel triggered. This might be taking 3 deep breaths, counting to 10, stepping into another room for a moment, or saying, I need a minute to calm down, and then we'll handle this. Fourth, address your own needs proactively. Are you getting enough sleep, eating regularly, having adult conversation, getting breaks from parenting? It's not selfish to take care of yourself. It's necessary for being the parent you want to be. Here's a strategy I teach that works really well. Create a family calm down plan together. Sit down with your children when everyone's in a good mood and say something like, sometimes people in our family get really frustrated or overwhelmed, including me. Let's make a plan for what we can all do when that happens. You might agree that anyone can call for a family timeout, that it's okay to go to your room to calm down, or that you'll all take 3 deep breaths together before dealing with difficult situations. One family I worked with created a code word. When anyone was getting overwhelmed, they could say pineapple, and everyone would stop talking for 1 minute to take deep breaths. It sounds silly, but it gave them all permission to pause before reactions got out of control. Let me share another real example. I worked with a dad, Tom, who struggled with yelling during homework time. His 9-year-old daughter would procrastinate, argue about assignments, and seem to forget everything she'd learned. Tom would start patient, but eventually explode with frustration. We created a prevention plan. Tom would set a timer for homework sessions, and when he felt his frustration rising, he'd say, I need a water break, and step away for 2 minutes. He also scheduled homework for right after his daughter's snack time, when she was most focused, rather than when she was tired after dinner. But Tom still had moments where he lost his cool. Each time, he followed the repair process. After a few weeks of consistent repairs and prevention strategies, his daughter said something that really stuck with him. Dad, I like that you say sorry when you mess up. It makes me feel safe to mess up too. That's the power of modeling accountability. Children learn that mistakes are part of being human and that relationships can be repaired. Here's what not to do when you've lost your cool. Don't minimize what happened by saying, I didn't really yell when you know you did. Don't blame your child by saying, you made me so angry. Don't expect immediate forgiveness or pressure your child to say they forgive you. And don't use your apology as an opportunity to rehash their behavior that triggered you. Let's talk about age-appropriate repairs. For toddlers and preschoolers, keep it simple. Mommy used a loud voice, and that wasn't okay. I'm sorry. I love you. For school-age children, you can include more details about your feelings and plans for next time. For teenagers, you can have more complex conversations about stress, triggers, and family dynamics. Remember that teenagers especially appreciate authentic apologies because they're developing their own sense of justice and fairness. They can tell when you're being genuine versus just trying to smooth things over. Here's something that might surprise you. Children often become more cooperative and connected after a genuine repair. They feel heard, valued, and safe. They see that the relationship can survive conflict and mistakes, and they learn crucial life skills about accountability and repair. I want to be clear about something. I'm not suggesting that yelling occasionally will damage your child forever. Children are resilient and they can handle imperfect parents. What matters most is the overall pattern of your relationship and your willingness to take responsibility when you make mistakes. However, if you find yourself yelling frequently, losing control regularly, or feeling unable to manage your emotions around your children, it might be helpful to talk to a counselor or therapist. Taking care of your mental health is one of the best gifts you can give your family. Let me leave you with this thought. Your children don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be real, accountable, and committed to doing better. Every time you repair a relationship rupture, you're teaching them that love is stronger than mistakes, that people can change, and that they're worthy of respect and genuine apologies. The goal isn't never losing your cool. The goal is handling it with integrity when you do, learning from it, and gradually getting better at regulation over time. That's all for today. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to Thriving with Richard Bass. Drop a comment below sharing your experiences. Have you found effective ways to repair with your children after difficult moments? What challenges are you facing with staying calm? I read every comment and often use your questions for future videos. See you in the next video.